In the past, when athletes have had a head injury, coaches are unsure of the severity of the injury as well as how long the athlete needs to sit out. But now with the new concussion test implemented, athletes may be out for a whole lot longer. Here's Kristen Sambor with this story.
Everyone knows the risk that comes along with playing high-contact sports. In the past, these injuries have often been overlooked. But with the seriousness of sports-related injuries becoming more apparent in the media, the athletic department here at Mason High School has done everything they can to ensure their athletes' safety. Concussions, which are caused by severe contact to the head, are sidelining athletes at an alarming rate. But now, precautionary measures are being taken to ensure athletes are not rushed back into playing too soon. Senior Eric Trexler had to sit out almost his. The test Eric is referring to is called IMPACT and is a 10-step testing method that is administered on a computer by an athletic trainer or coach. This test is used to prevent the dangers of post-concussion syndrome. Athletes who are not fully recovered from their initial concussions are more likely to receive another. With the help of this test, the trainers can work with the athletes to make sure this doesn't happen. While safety is still the main priority for student athletes and their coaches, this test has changed the way concussions are treated as well as the actual performance time of an athlete. In junior Jordan Barnes' case, it not only affected one season, but two.
In the last game of the season against Sycamore, I got hit again pretty hard, actually really hard. I was out cold for 5 minutes, and I ended up having to go to the hospital. And then I had to take the impact test multiple times after the last game of the season, and then that carried over into basketball season.
Now Eric knows the testing is in place to protect him. He felt the test kept him from enjoying the chance to compete in his final season.
If there wasn't a concussion test, I probably would have taken about 2 weeks off probably, because it was my third concussion. But it would have been a lot easier to come back, but it also would have been a lot more dangerous. And a lot of people get really permanent damage from coming back too early, and that's why they started using these tests.
The question that most student athletes have to face after being injured is what's more important, their playing time or their health. For Mason High School, that decision is easy, but for the individual athlete, it can be a bit harder to make. I'm Kristen Sambor, NBC Sports.
For the past 8 years, the Avatatas have led the track team, and last year they won a GMC title in their first year in the conference. Here's Devin Davis with
what was once an FAVC powerhouse is beginning to take shape yet again as the women's track team takes over the GMC by storm in just their second season.
Senior Kirsten McCafferty is going into her fourth season on the track team. However, it wasn't until joining the GMC last year that the girls have been looked at as a dominant force.
We came into the GMC last year, which is kind of nice, and we were expecting to do like okay, but we actually knocked off the 8-time champion, and we doubled their score.
Rachel Harley is another senior who hopes to add on to the success of last year.
Well, this year I think that our team's going to do really well. I mean, for indoor season, we've had a lot of really great people come out and have a lot of really good races. We ran at OSU and UK, so we started off pretty well. And now for outdoor, I mean, we got a couple weeks for our first meet, but I think we're going to do really well.
Over the past 8 years, one of the best coaching tandems in Mason's history have turned the women's track team into what some call a dynasty.
Mr. King was the former head coach. He did a great job, and he was at the point that he wanted to do something a little bit different. So then we were able, Kelly and I were able to come in, and we've just been able to grow bigger and bigger each year.
I think when we first moved to Mason, it started out with a pretty small team, and I think year after year we've just gotten more and more kids on the team, and I think that's led to a lot of our success because there's been a lot of competition within our team to make everybody better.
Despite the differences in coaching styles between the coaching couple, they both seem to agree that there is no one else they'd rather coach with.
I love it. It's awesome. We have a lot of fun together. We've taught each other a lot. I started out coaching the sprinters, and then kind of when we started coaching together here, I started coaching the distance runners, and it's been really fun. We've had a great time. I don't think I'd want to coach with anybody else.
It's awesome. I think having Kelly here is awesome. I wouldn't want to coach with anybody else. I like the rest of the people on our staff, but really working with Kelly, that was the only way I really wanted to do it. And having her there, she's a huge support and a great role model for the young ladies on our team.
With the winter season already under their belt, the ladies hope to capture a second straight GMC title to prove that they are a force to be reckoned with. I'm Devin Davis, NBC Sports.
That's all for sports. Now back to Justine with more about the newsmakers here at Mason High School.
Today in Kids in the Hall, Whitney Graff gives the students a chance to share their singing talents.